Nah, I fart on air all the time. All time. All the damn
I've
day.
trained my body to be almost exclusively silent, so no one ever hears them. You'll smell them. God help me, you'll smell them.
Oh, I try. Yo, I be at work sometimes, and I sit like right next to one of my coworkers. She's a female, and sometimes, so I've mastered the art of not moving when I fart, so that it doesn't make a sound, and I can trap the smell.
You don't move your ass.
Yeah, no, I don't even move it.
But then
At
again, it's
least
hot.
for like
It's uncomfortable.
you got to trap it.
I never really
man.
thought about doing that, but I don't know, man. I think my farts are just terrible, so I just fucking let them fly.
Nah, I trap it so that
Or I just don't fart if I'm in front of people. I'm not gonna be that person. Like I'm on an elevator, you can't fart in an elevator.
it comes out, man. It's gonna come out.
You control it.
Nah, yo, there was just somebody in the hospital for holding their farts.
That's not true. That's a bullshit story.
You think that's a lie?
that's
No,
like-
I think
that's
I
like-
think you could end up in a hospital for holding in your fart. I think it is
that-
possible. It has to come out. It's something that's trying to escape your body.
Terrence, that's the same. So do sneezes. You don't die if you sneeze. But Terrence, that's like the same people who say like, "Oh man, watch the escalator. You're gonna lose your leg." Ain't no one ever lost a leg in an escalator. And if it has, it was like 100 years ago. That never happened.
I was about to say like no. I think somebody has.
Since we've been alive, that shit doesn't happen, man. Have you ever actually known someone who actually you saw it yourself? You saw this person, where you actually were like saw it in the newspaper?
Of course not. It's never gonna happen to someone we know. But I guarantee.
No, but that's
if
bullshit, man.
If we Google Florida man loses leg in escalator, it probably exists.
Florida doesn't count. Florida doesn't count. Florida man can lose his leg on a fucking.
Whatever you think is not possible, it didn't happen. If you put Florida in front of it and Google it, it will show up. You will find an
Florida
article.
man figures out a way to get to the moon. I mean, I'm sure that exists. Welcome, everyone, to Need I Say More, episode 64. I am one of your hosts, Giuseppe, joined by my co-host with the most, Terrance.
Yes, sir.
Terrance, episode 64.
Talk to me, man.
Who?
I keep forgetting you doing that. Episode 64 is an important one, Terrance, because it's like the N64 is what I think of. Like you Super Mario 64, Donkey Kong 64. Do you not think about these things?
I don't think about those things, but that was an important moment in our childhood. I think.
Dude, the N64 was like so like I wanted it so bad, and it took me. I didn't get it until like I think 1999 when the GameCube was like right around the corner. So it was kind of stupid of me to get it, but
Mario was the thing for me. Was it Mario 64?
Yeah, man, Mario 64.
Yeah, Mario 64 was a thing to me. We had
a lot of people
have
hated on Donkey Kong 64 as years have progressed, and I understand there was too many collectibles, but that game was still fantastic. So if you don't like it, go fuck yourself.
Never had it.
Speaking of go fuck yourself, Terrance, shout out to the haters. Because Terrance, we actually
haters, Joe?
Terrance, we have secured a hater, at least one. I'm not going to go into specifics. We have officially secured at least one hater, which means we've made it. And since securing this hater or haters, our numbers have gone crazy high right now. Terrance, there's so many new people listening in right now. They're like, what is this? I just ran into the show. So shout out to the haters who made us big.
Love it.
Appreciate you. All the new listeners, how are you? Welcome to the show. I was thinking about Terrance. A friend told me this.
You gotta thank the haters too, though. I appreciate that you thank the haters.
You gotta, hey,
thank the people that love you and also thank the people that hate you.
I don't like when people are like, oh, shout out to my haters, fuck you, because they don't really have haters, but we officially have one. We at least have one or ones, maybe. I'm not gonna go into specifics, but we have at least one, Terrance. So I'm gonna officially say it. Thank you. And it coincided with a huge little spike.
Nice.
I was gonna say, Terrance, a friend of mine who was listening to the show was saying we never really talk about what the show's about. Like for our new listeners, what we should do when we start the show is explain.
It's a show about nothing.
It's kind of like the Seinfeld, the podcast. Yeah, that's what we should be called, Terrance.
It's a show about nothing. What? What do you want me to do? Like what? You want me to get on here and tell you like our show is about like a specific thing?
No,
no.
I
can't.
Terrance,
I don't know.
This is what we would do when we start the show up. I'll go. For those of you guys who haven't listened to the show before, we are two best friends who get on the show. We talk about anything. We talk about things as trivial as laundry to important things like Will Smith and the slap. We go into everything. So that's what the show is. It's very casual. You come in, you enjoy. And then
I'm gonna translate that to it's two dudes shooting the shit. All right,
You know,
like
I mean,
that's about it.
that's how the white guy says. That's how the black guy says. You know,
Enjoy.
this is part of the show.
What you want? Like it's
What do
barbershop
you
talk
want from me?
combined with a little, maybe we had a drink or two before we started the episode. Like it could go anywhere, right?
Yeah. It's gone anywhere.
That's the thrill of it, right? Like we've had sex workers and we've had comedians.
We have, yeah.
We do it all. Why would you want something that's so kind of niche?
Terrance, I don't want to spoil anything, but we are currently working on an Instagram model. Keep tuned.
Oh, that's right too. That's right. We're working on having
an LA based artist,
because it has to be a conversation.
And then we got an LA based artist we're talking to. A lot's in the works, everyone. We
got to find out why LA think they're so cool all the damn time.
Well, we have a link up out there who does a lot of good work out there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say his name yet because he might not want to be on. We've said his name in the past. But Terrance, man, I didn't even ask you. How are you doing, bud? So and everything.
I'm good. In T Money health update. Like how I kind of named myself right there. Right?
Playoff P calling his own.
Just naming myself. But in updates though, now I'm feeling good. Go back to the doctor in a couple of weeks to get a checkup on my kidneys and everything, make sure all of that's good. They sent me a little kit that I gotta piss in for about 24 hours.
Fantastic.
To make sure that I guess they're kind of like examining my piss.
You pee into it and then you bring it to them?
Well, actually,
I assume
no. FedEx is coming to pick it up. So shout outs to FedEx for picking up piss.
To come and pick up a biohazard. They do that now, huh?
Yeah.
Times are hard for FedEx. They got to resort to picking up piss.
Yeah, man. Like, and FedEx is definitely the lower of like when you choose your shipping on anything. It's like, you know what? FedEx? Yeah, like nobody's choosing FedEx. Nobody's choosing FedEx because it's super expensive. It's always expensive to ship with FedEx or do anything with FedEx.
I don't actually know, off the top of my head, what's more expensive. I just take whatever is sent to me. All I know is I live apparently in the middle of nowhere, Manhattan. So I can never get packages sent to me. They just don't know how to get here. So Manhattan's pretty off the radar.
Nah, FedEx be tripping. I like UPS. UPS be fucking delayed all the damn time. And USPS
the worst one, easily.
USPS.
Well, yeah, sorry, yes. The post office, USPS, is definitely the worst. Yeah. But the one who is not a government affiliated, the worst one is DHL. Terrance. No, well, I don't even know much about DHL. Let me pull it up. I fucked up. I should have known this answer off the top of my head.
You got FedEx, you got DHL. DHL is where all the weaves come from. When the girls order their weaves and their wigs from China, DHL ships those.
DHL's the one, huh?
Yeah, DHL's the one. When you see a DHL truck, just know it's a bunch of wigs in the truck.
That's I guess some good money, some good raw material.
Right no, right? They making a lot of money. That's for damn sure.
You know what's funny, Terrance? I ordered something. I forgot I ordered this, right? I ordered this maybe 2 months ago. And according to this, it's still on its way. So that's
Did you get it?
No. This was in February 27th. I ordered this. Apparently, it's still on the way. So I feel like I'm not going to get it. Did I get refunded for this? Now we're in a whole. I can't do that, Terrance. We gotta get this. All right, Terrance. But before we get too off track here, even though we've talked about a lot of things in like 5 minutes, the show's been going.
Look at that. See, and that's the show.
The Seinfeld.
And that's the show.
Seinfeld of podcasts. Or is it the podcast of the Seinfeld of podcast? Yeah.
There you go.
That's the name of the episode.
Me and Joe get into a car accident, then he becomes my butler. Because he can't pay me.
Is that from Seinfeld?
That is. That's the show. That's the idea.
That's from the idea for the show within the show.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Terrance. This is way too meta. Because now we're talking about our show in the context of a show about a show. Too much. Let's get to our Black Excellence.
I wish I had an explosion button.
Let's get to our patented Black Excellence shout out of the week.
Brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. You're back against the world. I never tried you for anybody else. A brown skin girl.
Yes. Black excellence always and every day. And as always, everything starts with Black excellence. And today we have a really cool Black excellence shout out. I like to think Miss Viola Davis is
Ooh, I
our
love Viola Davis.
Black excellence shout out this week. And I'm giving her a shout out because she deserves the praise. All right. There's been a lot of talk on the social media streets and reviews.
Social media streets, as they say.
Yeah, the social media streets and in reviews from critics about her performance as Michelle Obama in the latest HBO Max show. I think it's a miniseries, First Ladies. Right.
I've never even heard of this. This is on now?
Yeah, it's out now. She, I think, was the first or second episode. I didn't watch it yet.
She does look a lot like her in this image, though, doesn't she?
Yeah, I didn't watch it yet. I didn't take a look at it yet. It is on my list to check out or whatever. So when I get a chance, I'm definitely gonna check that out. But I don't even have to see it yet.
She's brilliant.
Yeah, I don't even have to see it yet. So once I see that Viola Davis is in it and she's playing Michelle Obama,
I mean, what else do you need?
I don't need nothing else. What else do I need? And it shouldn't be like where the thing that I always hate is like, where's the real critique, right? Because people get on these social media streets and they get Twitter fingers and they're like, oh, she doesn't really look like Michelle Obama. Well, she's not Michelle Obama, nor is she Michelle Obama's sister or related to her anyway.
Anyone,
like, what are we doing, folks?
Anyone who gets mad and critique something because they don't look like someone doesn't know what film and television are.
Like, this is called acting.
The point is that it's a representation, it's a dramatization of something. They're not the actual fucking people. Yes, they're gonna dress them and make them look like them, but they're not gonna have facial reconstructive surgery to look more like the person. Okay, you have to pretend. That's what acting is. They're pretending to be somebody.
We're tripping, right? We're tripping. Now, if they would have said, if they would
attack us.
If they would have had Michelle Obama, like, played by like a white actress or something, maybe you guys might have something to stand on. Yeah, maybe you might have something to stand on, right? When it comes to that, right? But that's not the case, right?
And introducing Scarlett Johansson as
Michelle Obama. Like, come on, now we're not doing that. But we're talking about a brilliant actress, and she also came to mind as my shout out for the week because I'm just now getting into How to Get Away with Murder on Netflix. It was always on my list to watch, but they were doing so well that next season was coming out. So I think they have a good 8 seasons of this show. Like I think I think they have a good amount of seasons. And shout out to Shonda Rhimes. She's the creator of that show.
She was a shout out of a week at one point, wasn't she?
She was. And I'm starting to really see. Not that I didn't know this, but as we kind of really do this series and the more Black excellence shout outs we got, Black women are killing this shit. Like
they are.
There are some Black women doing amazing things, shout out to Leah Waithe. I must say I hate mispronouncing her name.
Is it
Leah White?
Lena? Well, I believe it's Waithe. What was your
Waithe,
first name?
right?
She's fantastic. She's a great writer.
Right. Yeah. I hate mispronouncing her name. But shout out to her as well. Issa Rae. The list goes on and on, of these amazing Black women doing amazing Black things.
Paula Patton.
Paula Patton, who can't cook. Paula, we saw that video.
I didn't see that video. I think I had a huge crush on Paula Patton for a little bit there, man. She is.
Paula Patton is seasoning chicken while it's already inside of the grease.
She is seasoned chicken, I think is what you meant to say.
No,
what?
She's seasoning chicken
while it's inside.
Like she doesn't
season it first and then season more.
No,
seasoning?
Joe. No, like she's.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what video this is, but not that's you can put more seasoning on, but I don't know if you can season after only. Doesn't really make sense. Also, have you seen Fences? Have you seen Fences? We've seen
the Denzel. No, I gotta check it out,
bro. That might be Viola Davis' best performance. She is hard when she really cries on screen. She cries so real that she has like the snot coming out.
Yeah,
you can't help but be like, she is this person. She's not acting. That's just Michelle Obama or whoever the hell she's portraying.
She is killing it on. I'm watching How to Get Away with Murder, and she is killing it. I hate how they kind of like have her. Like when she's going to bed, like she has nappy hair and everything like that. I'm not a fan of it, but I also understand like that's just a natural black woman going to bed. You know, like that's just it, right? So I'm just not a fan.
God, look
Maybe
how
I'm not
fucking
used
cute
to it
she
as
is,
well.
man.
Maybe I'm just not used to it, you know. So, but shout out to Viola Davis for just being amazing. Just
Shout
being
out to Paula
amazing.
Patton
Sure.
for looking amazing.
Paula Patton looks great, but
She's a good actress too.
yeah, like look, she's putting seasoning in. Look, it's already frying. It's already frying. That's backwards.
But she's laughing. Was she like, I probably fucked up. I shouldn't have done it this way.
No, it's her grandmother's recipe. It's a mother's recipe.
Does it work though? Have you tried the chicken? Maybe it's amazing that way, Terrance. She's thinking outside the box. So you can't.
Fuck that. Put me in the box.
Terrance,
no.
See, Terrance, see, this is why you are Bill Gates and I am Steve Jobs.
No.
Because you're like, oh, follow everything the way it's supposed to be. And I'm like, hey, try something new if it works. What if you tried that and your socks just blew away? That's how good it was.
I am never seasoning my oil. I'm never seasoning my oil.
She wasn't seasoning oil. She was seasoning it while the chicken wallows. And the point is, Terrance, you have
once
to
you flip it over, it's going on to the pot now. Like it's not even on the chicken.
Okay, but then when you turn it over, right? Some of it comes off. The oil is now you double seasoning because that's what the oil is now seasoned. You then put the part that was on is now all wet and fried. You put more seasoning on there. Then
Folks, you can't see Joe, but his oil seasoning fingers.
Lots of
is coming up.
We should be we got to get a video podcast up there. Lots of visuals in this one. Also, did you see the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No, I heard that was pretty good though.
I saw it yesterday. It's fantastic. For those of you who saw it, remember hot dog fingers. You know what I'm talking about.
Is that a need to see, Joe?
Oh, fantastic question. I almost forgot about our new segment. The need to see this week, Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's about 35 genres in that movie. There's a million things that happen. It's funny, it's dark, it's serious. There's family drama, there's action. It's probably used the film format better than anything. There's all these different things that happen that, it cuts to being like a cartoon at one point. It cuts to them just rocks at one point. Sometimes the letter bars come on the screen. They just do whatever they want. And it's fantastic. Brilliant. Nice. I can't even describe it's just a nuts film.
I like it. It was on my list to check out. I got to give a chance to check that out.
It's still in theaters. You have time. Also, need to see Fences. Fences need to see.
Need to see for Fences.
Fences is fantastic. It's just two. There's a couple of scenes with Denzel Washington, Viola Davis, where you just kind of stare. And
is it one of those deep black movies? Because I have to be in a mood to watch those.
Well, I
mean, emotional, deep black movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, right? Like,
yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's also lighthearted at times. It's about Denzel Washington plays like a garbage man, and he's just trying to make it. And
no, I know the play.
It's great.
So I know about the story and I know the play or whatever. I just know like when it comes to watching those movies, like those black movies that are going to make me cry, I have to mentally prepare myself to watch.
It's not. Did you see If Beale Street Could Talk?
Same. No, didn't see it.
That is a very dramatic film, right? Whereas Fences is a dramatic film, but it's not like it's too heavy. I think it's a good balance of like it's heavy and it's also kind of light. If Beale Street Could Talk, it's like a super serious film. It was a little much to me.
Nice.
Also,
while we're still in this segment, I'll give you guys the need to hear.
Here we go.
Pusha T dropped an album last week Friday. It's Almost Dry. Great album, great listen.
Talk about the chicken. Paul Patton's chicken, right?
it's definitely one of Paul Patton's Chicken's Almost Dry. It's definitely one of those hip hop albums that if you like wordplay, you like lyrical stories, and it kind of like a theme album. It's definitely one of those to ride around to. Great summertime music for the real hip hop, core hip hop fans. And, to add a little seasoning on top, our man, the great J-Hove is on there.
Of course. I mean,
so what else?
Is Wesley Snipes on there?
No, but there are Wesley Snipes mentions on the album.
Full circle. What do you think? How hard would it be to get Wesley Snipes on this show? Because Jay-Z, I think we're not there yet. But could we somehow get Wesley Snipes?
I think it's possible.
I feel like he's Brooklyn's own. We talked about this
to the fullest. BK to the fullest.
We gotta look into this. We got a lot we gotta look into this. All right, Terrance, but
Wesley ain't doing much. We could get him.
I mean, we'll edit this part out.
Well,
yeah.
he's probably doing a lot. Actually, I think they're in production for Blade right now. Actually.
Oh yeah, I wonder how big his part's gonna be. Because obviously he's not Blade unless he's like the senior Blade. It's like some Batman Beyond shit.
Yeah, might have him as a Stanley Poppin.
Just like walking by.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Who the hell let all this blood in here?
Gotta get Triple H back in there and Ryan Reynolds. Actually, I guess Ryan Reynolds could be in the film, but not as the same character.
All right, we're going too much into movies.
He could be Deadpool because both of those are in the MCU now. So, all right, Terrance. But actually, we're getting right into a topic because I have a story to tell.
Hey. What's your story, Joe?
All right, man. So we talked about this last week, I think, and probably a few weeks before that. My brother got married last weekend.
Congratulations to the beautiful
Shout out to my
couple.
brother. Shout out to my brother and his wife.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I've said before, like I was not looking forward to it because number one, I'm not in a position to be spending money, so I didn't want to spend money. I had to buy like a shirt, I had to buy plane tickets. You know what I mean? It's a lot. And then of course, who likes to travel? Who likes getting on a plane? You know what I mean? So
I love getting on a plane.
You like being on planes?
I love it. I love
do you
traveling.
Do you like getting to somewhere great, or do you like the actual being on a plane part? Like, that's the fun part to you.
Oh, no. The destination is the fun part.
Exactly. Okay. So I was not looking forward to getting on a plane. And then it was hard because my brother's getting married in Georgia, but I had to fly to Atlanta and it was like an hour away from Atlanta. So I had like figure out coordinating someone to come pick me up. And it's just not something you're looking forward to, like waking up early and going, I take the all the way over to LaGuardia and then a plane. And then
it's just LaGuardia. Damn.
Yeah. It was cheaper than EWR to Newark, which is strange because normally Newark's cheaper, but I was like,
JFK too?
Yeah, JFK is usually more expensive.
Yeah.
It's also true. I live on how far you used to live fairly close to JFK, no?
Yeah. I used to live like 10 minutes away from JFK.
Yeah. So I live on the opposite end of the city. So it'd be quite hard for me to get out there. But anyway, flight was fine, everything was good. And I was a little worried. My brother was like he's not a very communicative person. And he's my older brother.
That's my struggle.
Right. But like I was like, he was saying so little about this wedding and like there's no invitation sent out. So I was just like, I was so focused on like, is it going to be a mess? Is it going to be, something like I made jokes. I was like, is it going to be in a parking lot? I just wasn't sure. My brother is the way he is. So the flight's good. My mom picks me up because my mom with her boyfriend, my sister and her girlfriend were driving up because they live in Florida. They drove up. They happened to swing by the airport, pick me up. It actually worked out all well. Went to an Airbnb. Everything was good. Next day, the wedding comes. I look goddamn good because I look fantastic when I put on a tie. Just throwing that out there for all the ladies listening. All the new ladies and all the haters.
Hey,
I look great when I put on a suit. I'm saying some pictures, Terrance, don't worry.
I'm sending them to me. Post them.
That'd be weird. I just post photos of myself at a wedding on our Instagram.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the wedding comes, we get there. It's a small wedding, right? It's probably like 30 people, 35 people, nothing big. Fairly, nice little venue, nothing too big. There's an inside where everything's happening, but then outside's where the wedding's happening on this little like covered, whatever it is. So we get there, we sit down, and I'm like, oh, here we go. So far, so good. My brother comes out and he's like, obviously a little nervous, but he's also like fighting. He has like emotion. He's like fighting back some tears.
Oh man, like, that's beautiful.
And I was like, oh, you know what I mean? I was like, my brother's like not an emotional person at all. He's very much like what people think of as a guy, he lives in Georgia. He's not exactly like, living in New York City where guys like maybe a little bit more expressive. I don't know. But he's like, and he's changed a lot over the years. He used to be a pretty angry person. Now he's actually much, much happier, but he's just like fighting back. And I was like, wow, I didn't expect this. I don't know why. And then the groomsmen come out, the bridesmaids come out. His daughter, who's like 9, is the flower girl. And when she comes out, like the look on his face. The groomsman
daughter?
No, my brother's daughter.
Your niece?
My niece, yeah. I was saying his daughter. I mean, it makes more sense in the context I'm talking about him.
Okay.
Because he looks at her and he just is like so proud. It's to see his daughter in this dress, the flowers. And I was like, man, I'm so wasting my brother like this. Obviously, the fiance, the bride finally comes out and they're talking. They wrote their own vows. And my brother just goes on this thing about how like happy he is and how he's wanted to do this forever and how she means everything. And he was so obviously emotional, makes sense. But I spent so much time before this wedding hoping it wouldn't be shit. I never thought to think how I would react at all.
Yeah.
Never even.
Did you cry? Did you shed a tear?
For his thing, I was definitely getting a little misty eyed. I was like,
oh man,
I'm gonna admit it, man. I was like,
I love it.
It's weird seeing my older brother. I looked up to my brother growing up.
I love.
Oh, it gets better. Don't worry. And I was like, it was so weird to see him so happy and emotional. I was so vulnerable. I've never seen my brother like that. Right. So I was like, all right, cool. He the ceremony ends. They all go in the back. We go inside. Everyone sits down. I'm talking. I'm chatting to some people and mingling. And
wait. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Really quick.
Shoot.
You weren't a part of the wedding.
Not like the wedding party, no.
No. So like, but you were like sitting front row though, right? As family.
Yeah. Well, the second row, because when we got there, we weren't sure if we should sit in the front row. We weren't sure if someone else was. So we sat in the second row, but no one ever sat in the first row. So it was like, well,
yeah, I would imagine it's reserved for you guys.
We wasn't sure for like also the bride's family. We weren't sure where they were going to sit because we got there actually like right as it was. Well, we were supposed to be there at 3. We got there at 3. They didn't come out to 3:15, so it was fine. But we weren't sure if like the bride's family or like the bride's. We weren't sure what the specifics were. So we were like, we'll sit in the second row.
Gotcha.
But we were, with family. It was my mother, my sister, and me. So that's 3 of his 5 family members there.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
So they all go in the back. They do their thing, and then they come back out. They go outside, take pictures. We're mingling and getting some drinks, and everything's totally good. I'm having fun. It's all good. And then they all come in the proper way, whatever they do. They sit down and then dinner's about to be served. But then, of course, they have the speeches, right?
Yeah.
So there's the best man speech and the maid of honor speech. So my brother's best man is a man named Corey. And Corey, he said he's been friends with my brother for 22 years. So I think I've known him for 22 years. And of course, my brother's best friend was someone I knew growing up because he would come over all the time and spend the night. And, to me, my older brother was like cool as hell growing up. And Corey was like even cooler. He was like, I don't know, to me, as like this 4 years is a big deal when you're a kid. They were just so cool with me. And so they apparently have been friends all these years. I never even thought to ask. I haven't seen Corey in probably 15 years, since I probably like get out of high schoolish.
It's a minute.
It's a long time, man. And I didn't even know if they were friends. So I never thought to ask. But Corey goes and gives his speech. And he's starting to talk. He's just making a little anecdote. He's talking, and then he talks about like how great my brother is and how they've been friends and all this stuff. I had to look away. I had to do the guy thing where I couldn't keep looking because it was actually getting me super emotional. I was like so surprised, but I don't know, I don't know if it made me think of like you or my other friend James or like just that male friendship, or I don't know what it was, but it was so nice to see,
and just kind of like coming off your story or whatever. And I guess you can answer this either now or when you're done wrapping up or whatever. You think that that's still an issue with men now? Like, you think like we as men still deal with that kind of like not being able to express ourselves to other men?
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of men are like that.
And I want to say that for the both idiots and just kind of like just breaking it down to its simplest form as well. Like, and when I mean by express yourself to other men, just like literally like, hey, like, we as friends, as associates, as homeboys, whatever the case may be, whatever our relationship is, or whatever, outside of a, I guess, romantic side of it, like, hey, here's how I feel, about whatever the case may be, as like we boys, we should be able to express to a certain level or whatever. Like, I remember me and you having a conversation one time about like a topic that was on the show. Yeah. And then we got on a call, like, yo, gotta talk to you about something. Like, it's bothering me. Right. It's bothering me. Here's my thoughts on it. You told me your thoughts on it. We went back and forth for a little bit, came to the conclusion. All right, cool. We either, I can't remember if we just agreed to disagreed or we just was like, all right, cool, I understand your part.
I think we came to a conclusion of just like how to move forward. Yeah.
Right. And it was just like, all right, cool. Boom. But it's very rare that happens, right? Because I feel like men are able to, I think, handle kind of like disputes right? Like differences. I think men are able to handle differences.
Rather
But
than
when it,
emotions.
yeah, when it comes to like you're saying, like emotions, right?
It's weird, man.
Like maybe I can't really say hurt, but just kind of like that level,
Anything that's
like
emotional other than like anger, right? Like anything that's more like,
yeah, outside of anger.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think to answer your question, I think yes, a lot of men do struggle with that. I think people like me and you, not as much. Like even just I think last week, 2 weeks ago, it was our friendship anniversary, right? And I was like, oh, I
Mhm.
fucking love you, man. It's awesome. We're friends. Like me and you, I think have always been good like that. But like for instance, I've never had a woman in any relationship I've been in say like I'm not expressing myself enough or I'm like closed off. Where I know a lot of guys hear that from like girlfriends are with. Like, oh, you're
Yeah.
emotionally not, not, and that's not me at all. I'm totally expressive of myself. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't want to be like this closed off dude. I want to be someone who could, my emotions sometimes I wear on my sleeve almost too much. But I think when it comes to like sadder or emotional emotions, if you, as it were, like being teary eyed, I think a lot of guys shy away from that. Whereas I'm fine with it. I'm comfortable with who I am.
Yeah. You know what's funny though?
I'll probably do it at your wedding too.
I expect people to cry at my wedding. My speech is gonna make people cry. I
Your wedding
genuinely,
vows?
yeah. I'm
expecting
planning,
it as a poet,
I'm
as a
planning.
writer.
Yeah, you know me, bro.
I'm gonna try to help you out with them too. I'm gonna help you out.
I'm gonna get busy. I'm gonna get busy. I'm gonna get busy with the wordplay, and I plan on making people. It is my goal to make people cry. I want to see wet eyes and faces. I'm trying to fuck up makeup that day. All right.
The good news is by the time whenever, well, not necessarily, because that's like the first thing that happens is the ceremony that you're gonna be doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you might be fucking up some people's. They're gonna have to go in the back and readjust before the photos are taken.
I'm letting you know now. If you get invited to my wedding, don't wear no eyelashes. Don't wear no heavy makeup.
No, you can wear it, but you're gonna have to readjust it after the ceremony.
That's for sure.
So
that's
be ready for that.
All right. Have another set ready or whatever the case may be, because it's gonna be some tears. It's gonna be some waterfalls happening. Definitely. All right. For my wedding. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. But nah, I was gonna ask you though, right? Because I'm gonna bring you to the joke side of this, right?
Yeah.
Right. With men communicating. How do you ask another man what kind of cologne he's wearing?
I think we talked about this once, didn't we? Like
when but a guy that you don't know.
I don't know that I would, man. If I was at a wedding, maybe you're a little tipsy, maybe you're having a little fun, but I don't know, man. If someone I really don't know at all.
Just think, because what's crazy is it happened to me the other day. Where
you like, bro, you smell great. What do you?
Yeah, a dude walked by, and in my head, I was like, damn, that smell good. It was like, there's no way I can.
If it's really a stranger, I wouldn't feel comfortable asking anyone what they're wearing. Like a stranger, even a woman, I'd be like, that's a woman. You're creepy. As a dude, it's just weird. Like it's just, what do you ask?
No, with a woman, I think women look for the compliments.
But if someone's a woman walking by, you're like, I'm sorry, miss, you smell fantastic. What are you wearing? I'm single, by the way.
Well, see, you added on that extra part, makes it kind of,
That's creepy.
But the first part, if you approach it the right way, it's like, hey,
right. I feel like some women might find that weird, but I don't know. That's just me. But I don't know if it's someone I really didn't know at all, like not even someone I was acquaintance with. I don't know. I just would be like, it's fine. I'll just smell the way I smell. I'll find it on my own.
It's crazy because I think dudes, if we know each other, like it's a lot better to be like, damn, bro, like that smell.
I would ask
good,
you if you smell good. I'd be like, bro,
what is that?
That smells fantastic. What are you wearing right now?
What is that? Yeah. And then I feel like dudes don't really share what they're wearing.
Some people didn't. I think, haven't you said on air that you won't tell people?
No, I will lie.
So that's what I mean.
I'll lie to you for
You'll
sure.
be like, oh, I'm wearing Axe body spray.
Nah, yeah, I'll tell you 1,000 other things than what I'm wearing. Actually, shit I just found in a.
That's so weird that you'll lie as opposed to being like, oh, I don't know, I forgot what it's some.
Because I can't forget. I just put it on this morning. That's why I smell great.
But at the same time, like I don't always remember the exact name of what I'm wearing. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I bought this, but then a few months in, you're like, I forgot the name. I just bought it.
I think I know. I'm pretty aware of all of the colognes that I have, like by name. Like I kind of like.
But all times, you know what you're wearing. If I was like, I'm wearing this.
Yeah. I have cologne set for different occasions. Regular, going out to dinner, every day. Kind of cologne scent.
That's too much, man. That's too much.
I kind of like the smell good.
There's I think I'm sure we've had this conversation before, but there's like a subscription you can do where they send you like 30-day supplies of like new ones like once a month. You can try out different ones and buy them if you want.
Yeah, you gotta try that out.
So anyway, Terrance, back to the story. So the best man speech, like I said, I literally had to look away. I was starting to get teared up. Had ended, bridesmaid did her thing, and then everyone's just, it's over now. Everyone's mingling, having fun. There was like a few hours. And there was a bunch of stuff that happened. One, I had to go and talk to Corey. Corey was excited to see me because he hadn't seen me in 15 years, and he was like, he honestly was like, I feel so bad for how I treated you back in the day, and I was like, dude, it was fine. Like, you were like older than me. Of course you were. Like, he wasn't like horribly mean to me, but he was of course older and like, I'm cooler and your shit teenagers sucks. Yeah. I was like, dude, I don't care about that. But it was really, one thing was so strange about it was how easily me and him like just connected and were talking and became like, for the first time ever, like equal, like friends almost. It was really cool. It was so cool even that like I got his number before you left. He was like, oh, let me give you your number. That way we can keep in touch. And I texted him a couple of days later and I was like, listen, man, it was awesome seeing you. Like, we'll genuinely try to keep, I think he's in the Navy and he's in charge of like a cybersecurity thing. And I was like, that might be what I want to do.
Oh, that's
definitely.
Dope.
But in general, and he texted me back. He's like, it's so funny. He's like, I just landed and wherever. He's like, I'm with my mom now. And I was just talking to her about the same thing. Like, how cool it was to see you guys. And I was like, yeah, it was great. Like, it was one of those weird things where you ever like, you meet another guy and you're hitting off so well, and someone says something, you realize you both feel like, okay, we're cool. Like, we feel like we're both in the same wavelength of like
vibing
friends.
Right now.
Exactly. Like we have this friend thing going on, So that was really cool. And then there was like a lot of emotion. I went to my brother. I gave him a hug. We were both kind of emotional about it, but I was like, man, it's so good to see how happy you are and everything. And it's just weddings are just different. You know what I mean? There's so many feelings and emotions involved. And then seeing my mom so happy because she's seeing her son get married. She has other 2 kids there. Her boyfriend's been there. And she was just so happy all the time. And I was happy.
That has to be a great feeling.
Dude, it was.
For a parent.
I wasn't expecting any of the emotions. And me seeing her that happy made me so happy. I was so happy to see my mom, because my mom's been dealing with a lot. Like my uncle, her brother has leukemia, and her mom, my grandma, is definitely going through dementia. She's like 90 something years old. She does a lot. My mom does a lot. She's a really selfless person. She just wants everyone to be happy. So to see her like get away from all that and just dance for a little bit and take pictures and have fun, it was a special feeling, man.
It's a lot of weight on the shoulder. So
it is.
Seeing that, I could imagine it's like super emotional for a parent,
it is, man. It's just
and then is that her oldest? Like, is your brother
firstborn?
He's the first, right?
Firstborn, the first one to get not the first one to get married, first one to have a wedding, I guess.
Yeah, like that's super big, right? That's the first one. Like that's
the thing. It was like it was
moment.
A wedding, but then she has to see my brother, she has to see me, she has to see my sister. We're all just kind of having fun. It's just a good time. By the way, I'm gonna send you a picture of me and my brother. I wanted you to tell me what you think of what we look like, if we look like brothers. By the way, my brother has a massive Grizzly Adams beard, not like mine.
Oh man, your brother looks like he chops wood.
He does, right? He doesn't. Actually, I think
lumberjack beard for sure.
I think he works with something on the side for fun, but I don't think he actually does anything. But do you think we look alike? Do we look like brothers?
Nah, yeah, you look alike for sure.
Do we? Someone recently, he was like, yeah, you guys don't really look alike. And I was like, I feel like we do, but like the glasses and the fact that he has like a mountain.
No, if you look beyond your glasses, both of your shapes are the same. Your eye shapes are the same as well.
We look a lot like my mother. We took after my mother for sure.
Yeah,
also,
both your eye shapes are the same. And your cheekbones.
We also share something very specific in common: the hair.
The red, color. Yeah, the red beard.
The reddish brown beard and like the much darker hair. Which is quite funny. It's a good picture. Oh, and by the way, we talked about this on a show once. How I was like, I don't take photos fucking ever. And like, there are some people who take photos too much. And I think me and you both talked about like, we got to get better at taking
I have to
photos. This was the first time that since talking about that, I was able to put it in play. I didn't take a lot of photos, but I took a handful and they were all really good. I took some photos of my mom dancing when she was having fun. My little sister dancing with her girlfriend. It was a little fun. I don't take selfies, but I was like, bro, we were talking. I was like, we got to take a picture at your wedding. I'm like, we took that photo, which is a good photo. I think, and there's only a handful of photos. I probably like 20 photos, but they're all really good. I'm really happy I took that.
No, I'm doing that as well. Probably. Like for my mother's birthday, my mother just had her birthday dinner a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
And like even there, like, you know, me and Nicole were trying to take pictures and she just kept saying, like, fix your face. And I was like, you know what? I haven't taken a picture in so long. I don't know how to take pictures anymore. Like, and we were about
that's weird because look at the photo I sent you. I think that looks a good photo of me.
No, but see, the night was about to be over, and I was just like, no, like I'm not letting this night end before I grab a couple of photos. So I got some photos as well. Me and my brother.
That's what I mean. I think that is what
my mom's.
You want to have, especially for good moments like that. But whatever it is, you don't want to only be on your phone.
You the photos for that.
No, you didn't show me them. But you don't want to be on your phone a ton, but you want to have like this. I think this is the perfect amount. Like I said, 20, 25, whatever it is, a handful of photos, people dancing, some group shots with me and my the 4 people I was with, my family. And there's just a bunch of really good photos in there. I'm like, I'm so happy I have these because I can't get those again. If I want those photos again, I can't get them because there's not going to be another wedding. If there is, I mean, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? There's only that one time. So I was really happy I took those photos. I'm happy I was able to get out of the I'm never taking photos to the I'll take some photos.
Yeah. I'm really trying to break that habit as well.
Growth, Terrance. So, I mean,
I don't want to die, and the only thing people got of me is baby pictures.
Right, but that's the thing, man. That's what we're talking about. Like, I'm really happy I was able to do that. Like, to go, let me make this change. Are you rocking a hat, my man?
I got the hat, man.
Look
so
at you.
I'm figuring out my older look.
Terrance has an Andre 3000 look, everyone listening.
I'm figuring out my older look.
I'm going to describe what Terrance is wearing. Terrance has a black, like, very much like
it's a fedora.
A fedora, exactly.
It's a fedora.
Yeah, he's got he got what looks like a black collar neck on. Is that what that is?
It's a black turtleneck.
Or sorry. Collar neck doesn't make sense. A turtleneck. That's what I meant to say. He's got on what looks like a tweed blazer.
Oh, that's a nice way to describe it. Tweed blazer.
It looks maybe a little corduroy-ish, and then a chain underneath.
Yeah.
Normally, I'm not a fan of the chain, but it looks good, Terrance. It's a good, sharp look.
Nice chain, white gold.
White gold. You got the nice
white gold, the diamonds. Yep. Yeah.
A nice pair of dark jeans with some. You know what I need, Terrance, that I don't have? I only have like one pair of dress shoes that I've had for like 10 years now.
Oh, you got to keep the dress shoes.
I got to get some. I need a nice but casual shoe, and I need a shoe like you're wearing there, a bit more of a formal shoe. I don't
got to keep those. I love having a good black and brown shoe. That's one thing my pops always told me.
You can never have enough big white belts. That's what
black suit and black and brown shoes and a tie.
I have a few ties, yeah. But what was I gonna say? The only shoes I have are like sneakers. Some are like shoes, but they're like, you know, I'm not gonna go like, I'm not gonna wear what you were wearing with any of my shoes. That would never work. Also, who is this guy you're sitting next to in this photo?
It's my brother.
That's your brother? Okay. Wasn't sure. I just assumed, but it's racist if I asked that's your brother.
Any black man I sit next to is my brother.
Nicole looking fabulous as always. There's the madre. Is it all your family?
Yeah, man.
How many people you got in your family, man? It's too many.
Yeah, man. That's my sisters, you know, like, and this is crazy because nobody can see this on the show.
Your mom, she looks so happy.
My pops is there, my brother, he flew in from LA, my sisters, my little niece, my little cousin's there, you know.
Mom looks great, man. She didn't even get up for the photo. That's how much she cares, but she's just sitting down while Terrance standing. She's like, I can't be asked anymore. It's been a long night.
Yeah, man. But it was a good celebration, and you know that was one of the like same thought process as you. I was like, you know what, pictures. I gotta take pictures. I have to get some pictures,
but, you know, man,
and make sure that I capture these moments because I think we both had the same mindset as far as like being in the moment, enjoying the moment, living in the moment.
But you want to take a few. I think that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to be the person who's just staring at your phone all the time. But no photos. You don't want that. You want to have some.
Capturing the moment needs to be added to that list.
Capturing the moment. I like that.
Capturing the moment. We're all about living in it and enjoying it, but capturing it is also a huge part of that as well. You know, and I think that comes from our era of like I'm saying, just kind of living in the moment, right? Because we came from a time where, remember being at work and we didn't have all of these apps on our fucking phone.
Oh yeah, we weren't constantly on our phones. Yeah.
Like, remember, you know what I mean? Like, remember, like you didn't have the ability to kind of like depart from whatever this,
where you were at. You couldn't just go on your phone and zip off to
there
somewhere
was
else.
no escape really.
That's
like,
true. I
and
didn't
if
think
and
about
if
that.
you was on your phone, you were really talking to someone.
You
like
were
you
texting
were,
somebody.
Yeah, you were
doing.
really like in the moment texting someone in that moment. You know, like it just didn't happen like that. Obviously, BBM was around, AIM was around, you know, things like that. But we were so captivated by the moment, and it's like we always had to figure out something to do too. Like there was always like, yo, like we got to do something. Like
that's why people have talked about that. Like I don't know if it's worse or just different. Like kids nowadays, right? Like they don't. When we were growing up, and even when we were, 18, 20 years old, we had to kind of like go do something together. Whereas now a lot of kids, don't do that. They just text and they can do that. And I don't know if that's worse.
Here's one of the episodes where we sound like the old guys.
No, but I genuinely wonder, I don't know if it's worse or if it's just different. You know what I mean? I think there's personally something special about being in person.
But if they're adapting to their way of life, right, which is obviously more tech centric.
But this is what I mean. Like, we've always used tech to more enhance our lives. And I think a lot of people are using tech to define their lives. Like, I think like going to this wedding, I think one of the great things was being around people. I was with people physically. I could talk to them. I wasn't conferencing into this wedding. I was at the fucking wedding. You know what I mean? And there's something special about that, like Corey, who was his best man, flew in from California. I came from New York. Like people were all coming in, and there's something special together. Because it makes it different. Like your mom's thing, your brother came from California.
At my mother's dinner,
something about
she literally got upset because we were on our phones.
Good.
Like she got upset. She was like, no, I want us to talk. And we tried to tell her like, yo, like we're trying to take pictures of you for your birthday or whatever, but she was right. Like, hey, like we're all sitting here together. Let's put our phones away. Like, and let's kind of be here.
Honestly, man, I've been very careful never to become that kind of person. Like, if I'm just standing, on a line somewhere, I'll probably be on my phone, whatever. It's not a big deal.
Right,
but if I'm with people, I try to, like, honestly, a lot of times, man, if I'm with a friend, whatever it is, my phone is just like, I ignore it. Like sometimes someone will text me, but I'm like, in order for me to respond to this text, I need to focus on it. And that means I'm not focusing on the person I'm with. And I feel weird about that. Like ask any of the girlfriends I've been with. My phone is usually somewhere in the room and I'm not even near it.
Something I recommend everyone try, whether you're dating someone or whether you're by yourself. Me and Nicole do this thing where we leave our phones in the house. Well, we'll leave one phone in the house. We'll take one with us and just have it off, like turn it off, just in case of emergency or whatever.
It's a good idea, man.
But we're enjoying each other. We're enjoying, the day when, we're just kind of like, just being in the moment, and kind of being present in it and really like enjoying life and shit like that, So I recommend people just try it. Just even if you're by yourself one time, turn your phone off and go outside for 2 hours or whatever, and just be in existence in the moment.
It is nice, and especially like if you think about it, if you go to hang out with someone, if you're on your phone, even for like a portion of it, what's the point of hanging out? Because you're going to be on your phone all the time. When you're on the train, you're at home in bed, you're going to be on your phone all the time. So, like I went to the movies yesterday, and there was probably like 20 people in the theater, which is more than it usually is when I go. I try to go at like weird times. There was this dude who must have been like 67 years old, who's like 2 rows ahead of me. And he had his phone when the movie started, and we're like 5 minutes in, he pulls out his phone. He's like this, like right at his face level. And when I'm sitting there, that's bright phone.
It's messing up. Yeah, it's messing up with your what is it? Sight line or whatever.
Yeah, and you want to be the whole point of the lights going down and you're in like the soundproof theater is so you can be fully engaged in the movie, which is why they also tell you to turn your phones off. But after like a minute or two, I was like, I'm not going to do this. So I was polite, Terrance. I was like, excuse me, can you turn your phone off, please? And I don't know if he didn't turn around, and I don't know if he heard me, and like I don't know, he waited like 2 seconds and then put it away, and then he didn't take it out again. And I was like, okay, good, like. If you want to be on your phone, go somewhere else, man. Go to a fucking restaurant, go to the park, go to your house, like we could be on our phones at all times. So try to appreciate the times you're not on your phone.
I like those. And you know what? There should be more of these, maybe we should do like events like that where it's just no phones allowed.
Dude, someone was telling me this wedding.
I love no phone allowed.
Someone was telling me this wedding they went to that they took in the beginning when you went in, they took your phone. And they sealed it, and they made sure no one was taking it like in a little thing. I've had this happen in certain places, but it was a wedding, and so no one had any phones. And then on all the tables were disposable cameras. So you want to
like
take
that.
pictures? Hey, use disposable cameras. You leave them, we'll develop them afterwards, but it forced everyone to talk. I
like
actually
that.
might do that, to be honest with you.
I like that. I like that idea. I do.
Like, yeah, because and like I said, I think at this wedding, my brother's wedding, to wrap it up, by the way, I think most people were in the moment. It didn't seem like people were on their phone too much. It seemed like everyone, I don't know if there was something about it beforehand, but to wrap the wedding up, I was really happy I went. It was fantastic. It was so good to see my family.
That's
see
good,
everyone
man.
such a good mood. I kind of wish it went on longer because like we were there for like 5 hours of this reception thing, and then everyone left, and then like an hour or two later, we met up, and my brother had like an Airbnb where they had like its awesome game room and all this shit. We went there, hung out for a couple hours, but I was like, I'm really enjoying being around these people. Like I'm really having fun. So I wish it could have gone on longer, but it was great, man. I was really happy I went. Can't wait for your wedding. It's gonna be even better.
Yeah, oh, that's for sure.
But you know what? I think the moral of this story or whatever is like, it was so good to see my family happy in various ways, and it made me super happy, which is something that I think that's something that happens as you get older. You know, like if you asked me 10 years ago, I want my family to be happy, but it wouldn't have been. I think you don't think about it, but now I see my family happy, and it makes me like super happy. You know?
Yeah, I think that comes with age too, right? Like I got a text from my little sister today.
It's definitely age, yeah.
And
you appreciate things more as you get older.
She's not that little anymore. She's freaking 26 now.
Well, she's still your little sister.
Yeah, still my little sister. But I got a text from her today. She was like, "Well, hello there, brother. haven't spoke to you in a while." And I was like, "Oh, here you go." But I'm like, no, she's right. Like she's right. I haven't spoken to her in a while, you know. And I made an emphasis. I put it in my calendar, you know, like once a week. I gotta call my siblings.
I did something similar where like
I'm the oldest. I have to do that.
When I was talking to Corey afterwards, he was like, "How often do you talk to your brother?" And I was like, "Not that much, you know, like he can be kind of like argumentative sometimes for whatever reason." But I was like, I was like, you know what? Like he brought up a good point where he was like, "Yeah, like it's good to try to keep up though." And I was like, I'm going to make more of an effort with my brother.
Yeah.
You know, like even if it's only a couple of times a month, I'm gonna call him.
Give him a call. Yeah.
I got that he likes to like always try to like prove a point. I don't know why. It's always like he wants to argue some side. But when Corey was like, he tried that with me once, and I just was like, no, I'm not doing that. So I was like, you know what? I'll call him. If he tries an argument, I'll just make sure we don't do anything. Not even like an argument, just like a debate. He wants a debate always. Yeah. And I was like, I'll make sure we don't do that. And this,
we don't go there. Yeah, that's it.
You know, like my little sister.
Gotta talk to you later.
You know, I'll give my little sister. I call my mom and my dad all the time, but I'm gonna make sure I give them all a little more. You know, like I said, my brother once every couple of months. It doesn't have to be a lot, but a few times a year at least, we can have a phone call and see what's up, and you know, because who knows what's gonna happen, man.
See, and these are the conversations that need to be had, right? Because it's a lot easier having this conversation, you know, out loud and with a friend, you know, and then hopefully people listening can kind of take that in as well, because
sometimes we talk about dumb shit, sometimes talk about real serious
things. Yeah, like, but this part of like the great thing about it is like when we do this show, a lot of this shit is not planned. Like we get on here, like we got a
really
couple
planned. I mean, we might have like some ideas,
things we might want to talk about, but then it kind of goes like this, you know, and it kind of gets like a little emotional to the fact of like understanding that, damn, like I need to communicate with my family a little bit more, you know, and be more in tune with my siblings, you know, and not only your siblings, just like your family in general, man. I know a lot of times, like in the Black community, we only get together when there's our funerals, man. Like
there's a thing what is it from? We only see each other at weddings and funerals.
Yeah.
That's a saying or something I've heard. And it's true. And I don't
it's sad.
There's certain people I don't want that to be the case. You know what I mean? Like I was thinking about it and I'm like, I gotta find a way, my brother, like to go see him. Maybe I don't know if he'll ever come up here, maybe not, but you gotta make something happen. That's why I like the phone calls, the way they start, and then hopefully you can figure something out where maybe, you know, in a couple of years, whatever it is, I'll go visit him, or I'll plan a trip out. You know, I'll figure that out. But you know, you gotta make these things happen.
I gotta make a more emphasis on that, and I plan on doing that for sure. I plan on doing that. That's a big deal because it does make me feel good. It makes me feel happy. When I was in the hospital and I went to the ER, my grandmother showed up. Like she walked to the hospital, and when I woke up out of that kind of like post-surgery thing, my grandmother was walking in. And it was just like, and I don't have like, you know, the best relationship with my grandmother, and what I mean by that is like I don't talk to my grandmother as much as I probably should. And you know, it just is like that or whatever, and it made me feel so good to see her and be like, wow, like this is the first time I feel like my grandmother is like being a grandmother right now. Like, and it is weird
And
because it was like the relationship and the dynamic of the relationship wasn't always like this. So to kind of like see her, it was like, man, like, yeah, I knew this is what she does and this is what she's supposed to do as a grandmother, but seeing it,
it's different.
wow, it was like, this is crazy to me.
It's
Special.
I mean,
Special.
that is awesome that happened, and it's you never know what's gonna happen in life, right?
Yeah.
Look at my mom, like her brother, who she spent the last few years. He finally lives next to her. They live next to each other, and they're finally having this great relationship. And they've always been fairly close, but now he has leukemia. And it's like, well, holy shit, like it could be all over like that, So that's why it's like you kind of got to enjoy these moments, and we all get into the habit of, oh, I'll eventually get to this thing, and then years pass, you never do. It's like you said, capture the moment. Like that also means like you got to make something start. You got to be the one to make the call. If no one else is going to make it, you got to be the one to go, hey, I'm gonna fly out maybe sometime next month. Are you going to be available? We'll hang out. We got to be the ones to set that. Because someone's got to do it.
Yeah, so. Yeah, that's for sure.
So yeah, man.
Joe, really quick. I just like, so I'm not like, I'm paying attention to it, but I'm not paying attention to it. And I think it's like a couple of kind of big stories that are happening that's just like all over, your phones and or whatever the case may be.
Which is
Elon Musk purchased Twitter for $44 billion. And Johnny Depp is in a court case with his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend?
His ex-wife, yeah.
Ex-wife.
All right, let's go over the Elon Musk thing. So the Elon Musk thing, I really like Elon Musk. I think Elon Musk is kind of a crazy dude, but I think he's really smart. I think he's very altruistic in a lot of ways. He's in a lot of really good things. I think it's fantastic that he's trying to get us to Mars because NASA just doesn't have the budget to do it. So I'm happy he's trying to do it. And he probably will. I like Elon Musk a lot. What I don't like is that him buying Twitter is a problem for two reasons. One, it's another example of billionaires trying to control the media. And I know it's social media, but Twitter has a lot of power, man. A lot of stuff happens on Twitter.
Has a ton of power.
And so him buying it, and it hasn't happened. Like it's going to take like another year or so for it to actually go through. But the problem is that's what he's trying to do. And that's problematic. But also he wants there to be, I think he's called himself like a free speech abolitionist or some shit. I don't know what he said, but he basically wants it to be like anyone can say anything ever. It's like, listen,
it's dangerous language.
We live in a country that's free, and I understand that. But you can't just go into an airport and say, I have a bomb. That's not how it works. You can't just yell fire in a crowded place. There has to be rules. Otherwise, it would actually be anarchy. And so with him, like he was spreading misinformation about COVID, like absolutely spreading bullshit about it. And he was just, and it's like Twitter and Facebook, they have to police themselves. He says how he's buying it, he wants to privatize it, which means there's no one that he answers to no one, which is fine if he wants to do that. But the problem is he wants it to be, anyone can say fucking anything. And that we already have a problem with misinformation. We cannot have this happen, but I mean, nothing we can do now. But like, the fact is, like, I think it's bad. I think there's a very bad thing that's about to happen. My thoughts.
I agree. Like I said, I'm not as privy. I haven't, kind of like really dove into it as far as Elon Musk and what's going on with the purchase and everything like that. I'm real surface level on it, as well as Elon himself. Very surface level.
I like Elon. I've looked at Elon Musk a few times. He's fascinating.
I like the mind, if that makes sense. Like I like the mind. Yeah, I like the mind of the guy. I'm very particular when it comes to being like, like I fuck with a person or whatever, but like I can fuck with a certain part of them, for certain quality of them, right? So when it comes to Elon, I haven't done as much homework on him as much to say like, I like him. But I like the mind, smart, intelligent. I can never disagree with anything like
I do. That's like I said before, like I like that he tries to challenge the status quo on a lot of things, and he's often the smartest man in the room, but he's very much like Steve Jobs, where like he's fine with doing things that piss people off or things that no one else is doing because he's like, I don't care. I'm going to do these things.
Yeah.
So I love that about him.
Next one, really quick. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Amber Heard.
Amber Heard. Well, I don't know where I got Amber Guys from.
I don't know.
Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I kept saying Guys. Who's Amber Guys?
I don't know. I could look it up. I mean, it's definitely
Uh,
Amber Heard. I know who she is.
But Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Geis?
What the hell is going on here? It keeps popping
I
up
think
on
you
my
made
damn
that
phone.
name up. There's nothing that pops up when I looked up Amber Geis. You may have made that name up. You think you totally did. So Johnny Depp and I don't have all the information on this by any means, and we're just doing some quick fires here. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard were married a few years back.
I tell you, the clips look like sitcom shows. Like
it was there was issues when they were married. There was definitely some reports of this and that. At first, she sued him, I think, because she said he was abusive and he was emotionally this and that, and it got pretty bad. And Johnny Depp got to take a lot of flack, like a ton. People hated on Johnny Depp for like a year or two. They were all against him because it was right around Me Too. I think it was when she came forward. So everyone was flipping out. Everyone immediately, and this is why I think that this mob mentality is bad, which is another problem with Twitter and owned by Elon Musk.
She can Heard.
If you can say anything, it means you can harass anyone you want. There's no rules. Harass anyone you want. Tell someone to kill themselves. You can totally do that on Twitter if he owns it like this. But understand that's what that means. So he will make it so that if someone wants to come on there and tell fucking Amber Heard you should go and kill yourself, die, I hate you, they are totally fine to do that, and you can't get in trouble for it. Understand that. Back to Amber Heard. Everyone was against Johnny Depp, and then as reports started coming out, he's now countersuing her for defamation because she absolutely fucked his career up, and everyone is kind of seems
Johnny
to be on
Depp
the
is
fence.
a man, though.
Johnny, it seems like they were both kind of crazy, but she absolutely is not. He's not the villain. Either they're both the villain or neither one is. There's reports that have been backed up that she threw a fucking bottle at him, sliced the top of his fucking finger off. He had to have a doctor come and fucking fix that shit. Like, it sounded like a fucking powder keg, that relationship. But all the reports and these court cases showing that like she might be more to blame, or at least just as liable as him. So I'm not saying what he did may have been right, like some of this stuff, but you can't be just assuming that because he's the man and she's a woman, everything he says is wrong. This is why we can't have this mob mentality, because you have to hear what actually happens. Just because a woman says someone did something wrong doesn't mean she's not lying. Unfortunately, this is the way the world is. So that's my opinions on this, because I didn't like that everyone was hating on Johnny Depp because we didn't actually know what was happening, and now we know that maybe she's a psychopath.
Nice. All right, cool.
How do you cut someone's finger off? Have you ever thrown a bottle at someone, like a wine bottle at someone, Terrance?
Have I thrown a wine bottle?
She threw like a full, I think it was a wine
I've never
bottle.
thrown a bottle.
She threw it at him. I mean, that's actually murderous shit. Like, I've never been mad to actually try throw a fucking glass bottle. You know what I mean? That's crazy. You know what I mean?
There's certain things in life, like, it may not seem as
you got to have a limit.
Dramatic, but when you think about it, it's just like, I've never done that, nor have I ever been in a situation where I would have even had to do that. Think of doing that. It's
a crazy thing, man. Like, doing something like that. It's kind of like, what was it, Chris Rock? I ain't gonna hit a woman, but I'll sure shake her. You know, you have to have a limit what you can do. You can't throw a fucking glass bottle at somebody. That's like intent to harm. There's such a difference between that and like just yelling or something. You know, there's such a difference. That's why, like, hearing these stories about her, I'm like, she can go fuck herself. And the fact of the matter is, she is liable for fucking his career up, because she's the one who came out and openly accused him of all this stuff. And even if some of it may have been true, she didn't say all the horrible shit she did. Now Disney fired him from being Jack Sparrow.
I know, one of my favorite movies.
It was only like a year ago, dude. He got let go from being Grindelwald in the Fantastic Beasts movie. That's why Mads Mikkelsen is him in the new movie. Like, it is absolutely damaging his public opinion of him is taking a plummet. So yeah, she can kind of go fuck herself with all that. But if he did anything wrong, then he's liable for that too. I'm not gonna. By the way, in July 2020, Elon Musk tweeted out, "Pronouns suck." So,
all right, folks.
Trans people.
That was our new needed fast.
So I just want to go back. This is the thing, because if he owns Twitter and he makes it private, he can say that, and people might get mad at him, but anyone can say that. Anyone can say whatever they want. So just think about this stuff right now. Think about this stuff, and this is the reason I'm against him buying it. But anyway, That brings us towards the end of our show, Terrance. We, of course, end every show with a hypothetical.
Oh, what you got?
Ending music?
Yeah, but I forgot we had hypothetical.
Well, the good news is I don't have a hypothetical, Terrance, now that I look at it, so I didn't write any down. So I didn't know.
Oh yeah, you did have your wedding, so you didn't have a chance. Well, not your wedding, your brother's wedding.
I was at a wedding. Yeah, no,
yeah.
Listen, the thing about the hypotheticals, we always in the show that way, is I let them just come naturally to me. I don't go online and Google this or anything like that. I just
got to do it that way.
Whatever happens in my life, like topics and hypotheticals, whatever I'm seeing in my everyday life, that's when I write it down. And so sometimes there's a week where we don't have one. Sometimes there's, I have 7 of them and I have to wait.
That's a lot more I don't know, just like genuine.
That's the way it should be. Like I said, I could go online right now or before the show and Google hypotheticals. You're gonna get a billion of them, but that's like lame. I mean, there could be fun.
I like it. Let it flow. Let it flow natural. If it comes to mind, it comes to mind.
Because I think I've asked some crazy questions.
There you go.
Like I think some original stuff.
Let it flow. Let it flow.
But anyway, Terrance, if anyone wants to reach out to the show, they can, and some hate mail, since we got a couple of haters now, apparently.
We love the haters, internationally known and locally respected.
Shoot us some hate mail or some love or some requests, whatever you want. Need I say more pod at gmail.com. Twitter and Instagram, we're trying. We're saying we want to make it better.
We're trying,
but we're struggling with that. If you want to manage our social media, reach out to the email.
Absolutely.
But you can follow us.
Love to have you.
Need I say more pod. That's it for me, Terrance. You got anything else?
No. Look, reach out to your family, be in the moment, and while you're in that moment, we love you because we understand that you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. Need I say more?